Most rappers, when they decide to drop a diss track, pick a target. One person, one song, one mission. YoungBoy Never Broke Again looked at that blueprint, set it on fire, and released 4 minutes and 30 seconds of pure, undiluted chaos that managed to offend nearly every major name in hip-hop simultaneously. And the craziest part? He did it while on house arrest, sitting in a California mansion waiting for a federal trial. Absolutely unhinged behavior. Absolutely legendary numbers. Hit subscribe right now and smash that notification bell because the hip-hop watchdog is about to break down the song that burned down the entire rap industry in one afternoon. It was February 22nd, 2022. Lil Durk had just dropped his highly anticipated album alongside a new single called Ah Ah, a track widely understood to be aimed directly at YoungBoy, referencing his associates, defending the memory of King Von, and setting up what Durk's fanbase assumed would be a clean victory. The album was already generating enormous buzz. Durk was riding high. Everything was going to plan. Then, YoungBoy went into the booth. Hours later, YoungBoy dropped I Hate YoungBoy, and in one song he took aim at Lil Durk, Durk's fiancée India Royale, Gucci Mane, King Von, and Quando Rondo, among others. The targets kept piling up. By the time the smoke cleared, YoungBoy had fired rounds at Lil Durk, India Royale, Durk's father, King Von, Gucci Mane, 21 Savage, Lil Baby, the entire 4PF squad, YouTube streamers, Apple Music, and more. DJ Academics summed it up on Twitter in real time, and even he seemed genuinely stunned. And this is a man who has watched rappers do absolutely everything. Let's talk about the collateral damage one name at a time. YoungBoy dissed Durk's fiancée India Royale directly and took a shot at Gucci Mane for recently collaborating with Durk after years of friendship with YoungBoy. Gucci Mane, a man who has survived more in hip-hop than almost anyone alive, found himself dragged into a beef he had nothing to do with, simply because he appeared on one of Durk's tracks. Gucci responded by releasing a record called Publicity Stunt, using that exact phrase to describe what YoungBoy was doing to him. A legend, reduced to damage control because of one song. YoungBoy also took shots at Lil Baby, Baby with him, 4PF, 4 poles firing, and fired at Boosie Badass, rapping, "Feel like Boosie don't even like me, don't call my phone." Boosie, who has known YoungBoy for years and has always publicly shown him love, was genuinely hurt. Boosie responded through Instagram story, saying it had messed with him and hurt his feelings. That is not a man performing outrage. That is a man who felt genuinely betrayed by someone he considered family. YoungBoy also took aim at Apple Music directly, rapping, "Tell Apple I said forget them, they promote his song," furious that the streaming platform was pushing Durk's music over his own. He went after YouTube reactors for not giving his content enough attention. He called out 21 Savage for his loyalty to Durk's camp. He dragged Durk's father, a man who had just been released from federal prison after serving 25 years, into the lyrics with no mercy whatsoever. The song hit 5 million views almost immediately, and the response across the industry was immediate and overwhelming. Fans could not believe the sheer volume of bodies on the floor. Memes flooded social media, showing every rapper YoungBoy named staring directly at Durk, asking what on earth he had said to provoke this. And here is what makes I Hate YoungBoy one of the most remarkable diss tracks in recent hip-hop history. YoungBoy never once said Lil Durk's name directly in the song. The man destroyed Durk's fiancée, his father, his dead friend, his label mates, his streaming partners, his media supporters, and still could not bring himself to acknowledge Durk by name. That is either the coldest diss move ever recorded, or a man so far beyond caring that Durk's actual name wasn't even worth the syllables. The beef traces back to the 2020 murder of King Von, with YoungBoy aligning himself firmly beside Quando Rondo and Lil Tim, the men connected to Von's death, while Durk mourned his closest collaborator and friend. What started as grief became rivalry, and what became rivalry became I Hate YoungBoy, a song that managed to diss an entire industry, a streaming platform, a fiancé, a dead man, and a father doing his best, all in the time it takes to eat lunch. YoungBoy was on house arrest when he recorded it. The feds had his ankle monitor strapped on. He was legally confined to a California property, and he still managed to set hip-hop on fire from his living room couch. That is either deeply impressive or deeply terrifying. Possibly both.